Hello, brothers and sisters. Thanks for joining me again today. Today, let's talk a little bit more about crime and the National Guard and ICE in America. As you guys all know by now, I'm sure, Trump's pretty hard on crime. He doesn't like it, and he pretty much did clean up Washington, D.C. after he sent the National Guard in there, and the city tried to stop him, but it was all lawful. There was really nothing they could do to stop him. It is a little harder for him to do it in other cities, though. But there's lots of other Democrat-run cities that have really high crime and have an illegal alien problem. And Trump wants to get rid of the illegal aliens. But he's got a problem because the local government really likes illegal aliens. And so because of that, the police won't really help. And so he's sending in the National Guard to provide security for the immigration and customs enforcement folks that are detaining illegal aliens for deportation. There's a lot of the population that don't like it. And I think it's mostly just Trump derangement syndrome because Obama actually deported more people than Trump has so far. And nobody cared when President Obama did it. It was legal. These folks were in the country illegally. We need to get rid of them. Democrats used to say that kind of stuff until they figured out that these were their voters and decided it would be, they need to keep importing their voters. But I think there's a new level of Trump derangement syndrome I'm seeing now. Now that Trump has said he's sending in the National Guard, let's see what this TikToker here had to say about it and actually put out on social media. So let's see what he says about the National Guard coming to help with the deportation efforts and crack down on crime.
Trump, do not send the National Guard to Chicago, gang. Do not, I repeat, do not do it. We are a different fucking breed out here, nigga. We are not Los Angeles. Nigga, we are not Washington, D.C. Nigga, this is Chicago, nigga. Them niggas go fight back. I'm telling you, them niggas go fight back, gang. Whatever, I don't give a fuck what you talking about. Them young niggas got switches, gang. They not going for that shit, bro. I know a bunch of y'all finna say, oh, it's the National Guard. They can't do anything about it. They must go in Chicago. Nigga, do y'all know that it's more bad people than good people, bro? There are over 100,000 gangs in Chicago by the city by itself, gang.
All right, so we let In Tamarcas We Trust have his say. And I don't know if this is him on the left. This is an American Ned, I guess, in his tracksuit. He's got his gun blurred out. But let's listen again and kind of comment this time as we go through this and see what we think.
Trump, do not send the National Guard to Chicago, gang.
Okay, so Trump, do not send the National Guard to Chicago. I don't think Trump is listening to this guy, but okay.
Do not, I repeat, do not do it. We are a different fucking breed out here, nigga. We are not.
All right, they are a different breed out here.
Not Los Angeles, nigga. We are not Washington, D.C.
They're not Los Angeles or Washington, D.C. in Chicago. I think that's true.
Nigga, this is Chicago, nigga. Them niggas go fight back.
All right, they're going to fight back. Well, in Chicago, there is a lot of gun crime, which is kind of funny because Chicago has some of the strongest anti-gun laws in the country. All these guns are pretty much illegal, but it really, to me, is the city that proves the rule that criminals don't obey the law, so making new laws doesn't do anything to stop crime. All it does is disarm the general populace. And with all these guns, Chicago isn't actually the highest gun crime city. I think that record is held by Baltimore. And then I think Washington, D.C. was, I believe, number 2, and then Chicago was 3. But they may switch around a little. But you notice they're all Democrat-run cities where the Democrats that get elected there just don't actually know how to run a city. Very soft on crime. The places are dirty, lots of homeless. It's a mess. And that's why Trump went in and cleaned up Washington, D.C. with the National Guard. And it worked there. Now, it's harder to do in Chicago. Trump doesn't have as much power outside of Washington, D.C., but he can still do it, and he is doing it. He's sending troops in. And this guy is saying that the troops are going to get shot up.
I'm telling you, them niggas go fight back, gang. Whatever, I don't give a fuck what you talking about. Them young niggas got switches, gang. They not going for that shit, bro.
All right, so those young black men have switches. What's that? It's slang for automatic weapons. in general, the gangsters think it's kind of cool to have a handgun that's automatic. And so it's probably a Glock 17 switch. So the Glock 17 can be purchased, I think it's called the Glock 18, when it's a fully automatic. Now, I don't know if anybody actually buys those. They look cool, but your magazine's only at best like 17 rounds, and it's really long. And so that's gone in like seconds. And if you're not very, very good, you're not going to hit anything. Or out of those 17 rounds, maybe you got 1 or 2 hits. And maybe they've got some automatic rifles too. So, okay, they've got automatic weapons, but this is the National Guard and Border Patrol. They also have automatic weapons, and they don't look like this guy here on the left in his tracksuit. These guys are mostly veterans, a lot of them from Afghanistan and Iraq, trained soldiers. They know how to shoot back, and they've been shot at before. The U.S. military, I would argue, is the most powerful military that has ever walked this planet. Countries are afraid to mess with the U.S. military. Chicago, really? You're going to take on the U.S. military? You're going to take on the National Guard? And the National Guard's just the tip of the spear. If 200, 300, 400 National Guardsmen aren't enough, Trump will bring in the Marines. Or he'll bring in the airborne. Or he'll bring in the Air Force. There'll be drones flying over, blowing your buildings up, if need be, if that's what it takes, if you actually go toe-to-toe with the National Guard. Trump has sufficient force to take care of Chicago. Now, I know people could talk about civil war, and in an insurgency, you eventually, in the long war, they can win, and that's why we have the Second Amendment. And that's all true, but it's only going to be Chicago. The whole country's not going to rise up. And so there is no way Chicago's winning this. If they start some stuff with the U.S. military, there's going to be a bunch of body bags, and most of them are going to be civilians. Does anybody think I'm wrong? Anybody seriously think a bunch of young black men with switches can seriously take on the U.S. Armed Forces? And if anyone thinks the armed forces isn't going to shoot at these young black men that are shooting at them, remember, these guys are all criminals, these young black men. By definition, if you've got an automatic weapon, you're a criminal in Chicago. And you just have to look back at the Chinese. The students in Tiananmen Square thought that the army wasn't going to shoot at them, that they found out how wrong they were. So you guys in Chicago, if you're in Chicago, you need to calm down if you're thinking this way. Guys, people in the community, go talk to these guys, calm them down. The main target of ICE and Homeland Security right now is illegal aliens. Just stay out of their way. I'm sure you're a U.S. citizen. They're not after you, bro. So just get out of the way. It's not worth your life. I'm thinking this is likely all talk, but again, I'm showing this video because this is why Trump feels like he has to send the National Guard in when the police are not doing their job in controlling crime, and you have all of this going on. And then the police have already said they're not going to help ICE. Then you've got to bring in the troops to do the job. And everything ICE is doing here is lawful. But this guy is just delusional. So, guys, calm these guys down before somebody gets hurt. Let's watch the rest. Let's see if there's anything else worth commenting here again.
I know a bunch of y'all finna say, oh, it's the National Guard. They can't do anything about it. They must go in Chicago. Nigga, do y'all know that it's more bad people than good people, bro?
All right, so there's more bad people than good people in Chicago, but I thought the governor of Illinois and the mayor of Chicago said they didn't need any help. Crime was getting better. They got it all under control. Don't send the National Guard. I think I heard him say that. Seems like this guy hasn't been talking to the governor. There's a lot of bad people in Chicago, and they're ready to mess up some ICE agents.
There are over 100,000 gangs in Chicago by the city by itself.
All right, so there's over 100,000 gangs in Chicago. Well, the U.S. military has something like 1.2 million troops under arms, and they've got some big boy toys that you've never seen. When the Air Force starts flying over and they start firing Hellfire missiles into your apartment buildings. Yeah, so again, you guys in Chicago need to calm down. What do you guys think? Did I get this wrong? Are these guys going to be able to defeat the U.S. military? I don't think so. Hey, if you like this, like and subscribe. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Thanks, bye.